Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back once again to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name's Mark Love, and this morning I have a really nice, this is a 2024 Valencia by Renegade. It's a brand new coach, and obviously we're motivated on all of our 24s, so if you're looking for a Super C, you might want to call on this one. This model is built on the S2 RV chassis, which means it's got the 360 Cummins, 12,000 pounds of towing, and 800 foot-pounds of torque on this model. So it was 3 degrees this morning when I got here, so I decided to start on the inside, and it was 3 degrees inside here also. So we fired up the furnace and got it going, and it's been running for probably 45 minutes, and we're up to 40 already. So it's heating up pretty fast. I'll talk about the heaters, the air conditioners, some of the other options as we go through. But let's go ahead and start back in the bedroom today. So the 38RB is a bath and a half model. You can see your main bathroom is all the way back here. Let me open up some of the storage so you can take a look. We've got a nice big cabinet here. And there's also another nice little storage compartment up above. Some shelves down here for linen, for toilet paper, for whatever. And then, of course, both the bathrooms have a porcelain macerator toilet on them. One of the real nice features that the Renegade does on all of their coaches. You can see we've got good size medicine cabinet there. A little bit of storage underneath. And this one has the radius shower. I'll go ahead and step in here so you can see how much room there is. Now the Valencias have 84-inch ceilings, so you've got 7 foot inside. And with the skylight here, if you're 6'2", 6'4", maybe even taller, you've got room to stand in here and take a shower. I'm about 5'8". I've got a little bit of elbow room, a nice seat here, and your adjustable shower head. Just, the one thing about the smaller Super Cs, they don't get the big bathrooms, but it's more than adequate. And with 150 gallons of fresh water, a tankless water heater, 2 or 3 people can shower back to back without worrying about running out of water, which is really a nice feature. Okay, as we, before I step into the bedroom, let me show you the privacy door here. And these are nice heavy-duty doors. They're not hollow, cheap closet doors, so they really function well. As you can see, we've got a king bed here. We've got pedestals on both sides of the bed with 110 outlets, USB, USB-C hookups right here. Overhead, we've got a nice open storage compartment that goes all the way through. And you do have another 110 outlet there. There is an access port to drop cords down if you've got something up there. And another nice little feature, these Firefly panels are all over the coach. So if you're laying in bed, forgot to turn the lights out or the generator off, which is running right now, excuse me, I can shut them off right there from the bed. Another nice feature that you don't have to get up and go turn off all the individual lights. Now, we're going to take a look under here. One of the great features, I think, of the Renegades is right here. They've got 150-gallon fresh water. So you can see the 2 75-gallon water tanks here. Your pump is right in the middle, very easy to access. You have your winterization bypass hose right there, main dump valves. So if you do have to drain 150 gallons worth of water, it drains quite quickly because you've got like a 2-inch drain on that rather than that 3/4-inch line that takes quite a while. But one of the beauties, oh, by the way, there's a pole right here too if I wanted to pull this out and prop it up. But one of the nice things about having this set up is all of your water lines, all your water tanks are inside the heated part of the coach. So you don't have to worry about the freeze up so much which is a nice feature if you're a snowmobiler going to be out in the winter. Now, some people say, well, that takes up storage under the bed. And yes, of course it does. But what it's going to do on the outside is give you a little bit more storage, because these tanks aren't outside in one of your storage compartments. So a little give and take there, but having them inside the coach, I think, is just a great feature, and one of the things I really like about the Renegade products. Okay, across from the bed, we've got a nice shirt closet here, and we actually have one on each side. You have 4 very deep pull-out drawers. And by the way, Renegade does a great job with their cabinetry. This is really solid. They all have the soft close feature here. You can see it's not just a plywood frame in there. Now, here we've got a place for video components, and this coach, by the way, comes equipped with the Winegard InMotion satellite. You have to provide your own satellite boxes, but it is hooked up for a satellite. And if you've got DVD players or gaming systems, things like that, they give you a great place to store them. And then another storage compartment beside that. This is a really big dresser drawer. And then you've got a couple more right down here. And then up overhead, of course, an emergency window. You've got another one of your Firefly panels right here, duplicates the main panel. And you do get a, this is the 32-inch TV. So you actually have 4 TVs on this model. 3 of them are standard. The bedroom, the main TV, which is a 40-inch, and then you get an outside TV, which is also a 32, same as this one. This one actually has the optional bunk TV, which is a 24-inch TV, and we'll take a look at that when we get up in the bunk. And then again, like I said, over here they just duplicate the same thing with all the drawers and the wardrobe storage. And then as we step back into the main part of the coach, first of all, I'll demonstrate. You've got another nice privacy door here. And it really does, you know, close off quite solid, kind of isolates the bedroom. As soon as we walk out, we have our stackable washer dryer right here. By the way, this interior is called the Hamden interior, and the outside paint job is called Burnout. Great looking maple cabinetry in here. Across from your washer and dryer, we get another half bath, we'll call it. Let me just open that up and get out of the way. And again, that's a porcelain macerator toilet. Renegade uses those on all of theirs. And you get a nice, fantastic fan up above. Really draws a great breeze through there. And they've got the same kind of sliding door right here for privacy. Okay, as we step toward the kitchen a little more, first of all, we've got some pantry storage up above. And then down below is our breakers and fuses, our 110 breakers, 12-volt fuses. Everything is labeled right here too. So you know what you're looking at. If you know you've got a system that's not working, you can figure out what fuse it is and check that out very easily. Also, they give you some customer service contacts right there, parts department if you need to get a hold of Renegade. And when we get to this, I always like to point out one of the features you get when you buy from Transwest RV. We have technical advisors. One of them, Bill Habercorn, probably the most knowledgeable guy I know of all RVs, going back 20, 30 years and more. Bill is such a useful source of information, and you would have his cell phone. So if you're out camping and a system isn't working right, you can call him. He generally answers. If not, leave a message. He'll get right back to you. And he can help diagnose it. Is this user error, or is there something that you need to bring it in and have it looked at by our service department. So having that access, especially for people that maybe are a little bit new to the RV lifestyle, it's great to have that kind of guy. And the best part about him, he looks like the dude from The Big Lebowski. So Bill's a great guy to work with, all you people that have talked to him in the past. Okay, now we're out into the main part of the living room. The living room slide here, super slide, has your dinette and either a couch or recliner over on the other side. Now this dinette, as you can see, it's got that angled piece, and that means it converts. There's a handle here. You flip that handle, it drops down on these cleats. You got to lift up your cushion a little bit, but it drops down on these cleats, and then in your storage drawers here, you can see you've got a couple of cushions that fill in on the table. Now, of course, those cushions can be put back in one of the closets or stored somewhere else if you want to use this for storage. But it's very easy to make that bed and very fast. Great if you have kids or, you know, sleeping a big group. Like I say, you've got that on both sides. And then beside your dinette, it has your couch. Now this one, I will go ahead and kind of show you what you get for a sleeper over here. So I've struggled with these in the past because I didn't pull them out in advance, but let's see how this one goes. Actually, I am kind of doing this backwards. There's a release strap that always seems to get hidden. There we go. So let me, as I said, I should have done this in the past, and my latch is a little bit stuck. Pardon me, but this does pull out. This will flip down. This makes actually a very comfortable sleeper. And we've demonstrated these on other units. If you have questions or want to see it, get a hold of me and I can send you a link to that. But again, you've got a sleeper on the couch. You've got a sleeper on the dinette. You have a king bed in the bedroom. And then you have an overhead sleeper also. So up here, which is a queen bed, a couple of things I'll point out here. You do have some light switches here. So I can turn on my bunk lights. I've got some nice accent lights here. We also have an overhead shade. And then there's also switches here to turn all of your interior lights on and off. Same as in the bedroom, same as all your Firefly panels. And that's a nice feature. Again, if you're up here sleeping and left the light on, you don't have to get down. 110 outlets, again, with your USBs and your USB plugins. And then to convert this to a sleeper, very easy to pull this out. Got a ladder up there. The newer ones, 25s, have collapsible ladders. This is one of the old styles. But then when it's time to travel again, very easy to flip this up out of the way. Yeah. And then makes it much easier to step in and out of the cab, you know, without that over your head. And like I mentioned, over here we do have the 24-inch Insignia TV. Over the door we have our main TV, and with a nice sound bar. And this actually does pull out and will pivot for you. And that brings us over to the kitchen. As you can see, we've got a nice extension right here. Solid surface Korean style countertops with a deep undermount stainless steel sink and a residential sprayer. And while we're right here, I'll point out the VegaTouch right there. Now, VegaTouch works with your Firefly systems, and let's see if mine detects it right away. There we go. So I already had this on. So you've got pretty much all of your controls right here. So I can go to my lighting, turn everything off from right here, and back on. Or you can go to like your exterior, if you want to just turn those on and off, your bedroom and so forth. But everything that you've got right here, we also have in this panel right over here. So when we're done with the inside, what I'm going to do is go into my slide outs, and I'll close these slides so you can see what it's like when you travel. But the beauty of this system, once you get it, you want to get this Firefly app and the VegaTouch right away. If I'm by myself and I'm opening up this slide, and maybe it's tight, I've got a rock or a tree over here, or maybe a neighbor that's very close, it's nice to be able to walk outside with this and watch your slide as it goes out, or keep an eye on your awning as you're putting it out. And that's one of the beauties of this app here. And then, of course, you can see we can, from here, we can get into our furnace. And we do have a propane furnace in this one. Let me see. When you, there's our settings. And when you first get in here, you want to go to your settings here, go to your mobile app. It tells me which unit I'm in and what the code is to program into my phone. And again, you can scan this and get into the VegaTouch system. But everything that you have right here, your fans, your climate control, your generator, you also have that right here. So as you go through, you can level from right here. It's just a great app to have, and it makes it very convenient. So like I say, you'll want to get that as soon as you buy one of these. Okay, also over here we've got our propane stove. Now, a lot of the newer ones seem to be all electric, which is a nice feature with the induction, but I don't mind having the propane. I think it's easier to cook over. As you can see, this is what they call the sealed burner stove. So you don't have food getting down under that pan. You can lift that up and clean it out, but this helps keep it a lot cleaner. And then of course you've got these nice covers. Above your cooktop, we do have a convection microwave. When you travel, generally I take these out and the dish out because they'll rattle a little bit as you go down the road. So store them in a drawer or under a cushion or something like that. Nice storage up above there. Another storage compartment over the sink. And as you can see, we've got all your manuals and warranties up there. Down below, again, 3 more nice full pull-out drawers. A lot of storage in there, and these have the soft close feature like all of them. Place below your countertop. Whole house water filter that goes outside. They do provide some lube for your slide out mechanism and a little bit of touch-up paint for the outside. And of course, over here you've got a place for your trash can and a little bit more storage. Now this brings us to our refrigerator, and this is an electric residential style refrigerator. You can see you've got the auto ice maker there. And this has a inverter that as soon as you turn your house batteries on, it's going to turn on this refrigerator and start cooling up for you. So let's move up front now and take a look at what we've got up in the cab area. So first of all, these are air ride seats, and let me drop it down. Very comfortable seats. Your steering wheel gets out of the way there. I'm gonna turn that on to get a little power. you're typically going to hear this beeping, which is your levelers. And if you just hit all retract, it'll take a minute, that shuts off. You can turn your power off, and then you don't have that beeping anymore. This is our Garmin. It has your maps and everything, all your apps in it. You can go to your camera, so turn that on. You actually have a three-way camera here, so you can look at both of the side cameras if you want, or set it on the back. Go back in here, got your navigation right there. Now, some of these apps, you might want to find a campground. You have to register or make sure you've got Wi-Fi, but you can see this is going to tell me where all the campgrounds are right in my area. You can view your map, history. All right, we don't need the radio on. I'll shut that off right there. But another nice feature about this Garmin device is it comes off. So your passenger can maybe do the navigating for you. Maybe they want to just scroll through and see what's in here, change the radio, stuff like that. Kind of a nice little feature. Okay, over here below the monitor, we have our EQ leveler system. Auto levelers, very easy to use. Over here we do get a 12-volt power outlet. We have mirror heat. This is regen for the diesel particulate filter. Here we've got a dump, and that's nice because this has rear airbags. If I'm backing up to a trailer, you might want to dump that down all the way, get up underneath it, and then you can lift it back up. Also, when I'm going to level, I usually dump my airbags in the back. Once I do that, I've got more travel in my leveler system, so that's always a good idea. Over here we've got our window controls. This is our Jake brake or our engine brake, and that is just a single speed. We do have locks for our outside compartment doors. The Valencias have a Allison 3000 6-speed transmission. A lot of things, the newer ones are putting that control right up here on the column, but you know, this is easy. You know, it keeps your eyes and your hands and everything looking forward, so you're not searching for it over the, on the side. We also have a hookup in the back for a trailer camera. Maybe you're pulling a stacker trailer and you want to see what's behind you. Maybe you've got a nice horse trailer and you've got a camera inside and you want to keep an eye on it. You can do that right here, toggle back and forth. Some docking lights. Again, another 12-volt outlet right there. Over, let me get this down. Over here on the left, we've got our lights, our cruise control right here, our speed control and adjustments are all right here, easy to reach. Nice, you know, dash. Nothing too fancy about these, but, you know, this isn't an Icon. This isn't on a 600 horse. They build these at certain price levels and with certain features, and I like the Valencias. They're on the S2RV chassis like I talked about, and we'll go over a little bit of that while we're outside, but it's nothing that's going to confuse you, which is a great feature. And then of course, you know, you got your regular horn, but I like this one. Really let them know you're coming. A little bit of storage up above here. You can put a CB radio in here. They actually have the antenna already mounted for you. And both these seats are air ride seats, very comfortable with adjustable armrests right here, so you can move them up and down, you know, to fit you. And again, with the bunk out of the way, it makes it easy to get in and out of here. So right now, I'm gonna take a minute, close up these slides, and show you what it's like when you travel. And again, whenever you go in and out of these apps, sometimes it takes a minute to search to find it. Occasionally, you have to unpair it there. It came right up. Unpair it, put the code in again. But I'm just going to go to my slide mechanism and lock my ignition. That's right. Let me turn that key off. I forgot. With your ignition on, You can't run your slides in and out or your awning or anything like that. Okay, now I'm going to start by retracting the bedroom slide right here. Now, one of the beauties of having the half bath is when this slide comes in, it's going to touch your dresser drawers over here. So to get to the main bathroom, you kind of got to roll over the bed or crawl over. But you've got the half bathroom here, so it's great while you're traveling. And then let's bring the front slide in. And again, like I pointed out, this is great when you're by yourself and you're not sure how much room you have back there. So I actually use this quite a bit when I'm setting up. So with the slides in, you can see how much room you've got to pass through here. If you've got, you know, a golden retriever, or German shepherd, or a bigger dog, it's easy for them to come in and hop up on the bed or maybe down below, wherever they go. The units that have opposing slides typically close off quite a bit more. So again, with only 2 slides, it leaves you plenty of room to get through the coach as you're traveling. So right now we're going to go outside and take a quick look at some of those compartments. Let me see, sometimes that awning closes up. Nope, it stayed out. When you get bouncing around or the wind, the awning will close on you. It's motion censored, but it is still open, so we'll go out and take a look at that right now. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the awning as long as I mention it. You do have the Girard, and this is not the Novas that articulate and cover the whole side, but still, it's a nice, you know, comes out about 8 foot, gives you plenty of shade, plenty of cover if it's drizzling a little bit and you want to sit outside and watch your TV. Let's start out right here. Take a look at the engine compartment. So again, this is a Cummins 6.7 liter, 360 horsepower engine, develops 800 foot-pounds of torque. The beauty of the Super Cs, of course, is you can get inside this engine compartment, especially with your wheel turned. It's easy to step right inside. Check your coolant, check your air filter right here. You got to remember every couple of years you're replacing that. Windshield wiper fluid. Over here on the other side, here's one of our cameras, by the way. You've got one on each side and one on the back. We have our power steering fluid, our oil dipstick. Everything is just easy to access. A lot of your fuses for the engine and chassis are all right here. You know, another thing, I don't talk about this a lot, but the way Freightliner has built this, they've got their bell crank assembly right here, and because of the geometry of that connecting arm, it's exactly in line with the axis. When you're going down the road and you hit a big pothole or a heavy bump that's really going to jar that tire, this doesn't transfer all of that jostling up to the steering wheel. It makes it a lot easier to keep control on the bumpy road. So kudos to Freightliner for that. And again, I pointed out this is the S2 RV chassis. You have a 100-gallon fuel tank, and on this chassis they put it in the back. There's only a single fill, and it's right between the chassis rails. Where the M2 chassis, the 106, the 112, Cascadias, they'll have dual fill tanks, and they're up front. You got to fill them one at a time because the connecting hose, it takes a long time. The S2 RV chassis is the only chassis Freightliner makes that's designed specifically for the RV industry. All their other chassis could be a cement truck, a school bus. You know, the M2 is used for a lot of different things, but the S2 designed with better balance in mind. Even though it's a smaller engine, they really are a pleasure to drive. Another thing that I like to point out, they've got this breakaway bumper here. In a front end collision, this is actually going to fold in. It's not going to take out your whole bumper. They've got a little plate here that prevents it from digging into the tire. And we've been told by Joe Snyder, who's our Freightliner training rep, oftentimes in accidents, you don't have to replace the tire. You're just maybe getting a new side of the bumper there, but the main part of the bumper stays intact. I'm going to go ahead and shut this right now. And they've got a nice strut system, so it closes nice and soft. Okay, as we go down the side, another thing, I told you you've got your CB antenna up there. Maybe you're pulling it into your garage and you've got a really tight fit. These are made to break away, so you've got more clearance, or maybe you're going down the road and hit something, it'll break away the other side. That's a nice feature, and these are made to hold a couple of 100 pounds. They're very heavy duty. Another really nice feature, and you can see its use today, it's cold, it's snowy. I like these steps as you go up into the cab because it gives you a place to wipe that snow off. And they've got a lot of handles, makes it easier if you're a little bit shorter to step up into the cab area. And as long as we're right here, I'll point out, here is this button for your air ride. And you have it both on the passenger and the driver's side. Better drop that a little or it'll be tight to get in. This is your DEF fill, 10-gallon DEF tank. And also we do have a plug here if you want to preheat your engine. Yeah, that's a little bit frozen, but you can plug in your power cord right there, preheat the engine on the really cold days. Okay, as we move down the side, this first compartment has our batteries. We've got our 2 chassis batteries, and this has got the lithium battery upgrade. So you've got 3 of the Dragonfly 100 amp hour batteries. Coupled with that is 3 200-watt solar panels up on the roof. So if you are a snowmobiler or just somebody that likes to camp off grid, with the solar, with the lithium batteries, you have a lot of power, and you'll find you don't need to fire up your generator as often to charge those up. Come down here. If you ever wonder if a coach has propane, look for a handle without a lock. That's always where your propane is going to be, and that's safety concerns, so the fire department can get in there if needed. We have 20 gallons of propane, which works out to 84 pounds. I think I've got that reversed. 84 gallons, which works out to 20 pounds of propane, which is actually a pretty good sized tank. And we do have the propane furnace, and we also have the AquaGo. It's a tankless water heater, which is a nice feature. So it's almost like the continuous hot water systems. This is just a compartment. You can see your black hose or your drain right there. You got a black tank here. You do have some 12-volt heaters for your tank, so if you're out in the winter, again, it makes it so you can stay out in a little colder weather. And actually, that was a gray tank. This is the black tank because you've got your true level monitoring system. And you do have 75 gallons, both on the black and gray. Like I said, 150 gallons on the fresh. Another thing that I point out, the latches and the compartment doors on the Renegade are as good as they come. They'll all have a double latch system, very heavy duty, nicely insulated. They close easily. One of the other great features I really like about this product. This is our water compartment. As you can see, we've got that whole house filter here. This is our outside sprayer, and you can hook it up and take it up front, hose off your windshield or something if it's really full of bugs. We do have power retract water hose, monitor system right here, our black and gray dump valves. So those are up in an enclosed heated area. Cable input, black tank flush, everything right here, easy to access. They actually engrave these in, so they're never going to come off. They're not just a simple decal. Furnace here blowing nice and hot, and also you can hear we've had the generator running. This is the 8K quiet diesel Onan generator. The most common generator for the RV industry. Nice thing about that is if you need to get work done on it, everybody can work on it, it seems like, and if you need to get parts, they're readily available. Of course, some of the bigger ones, the 12.5s or other off brands, it's harder to get parts, harder to get service on, so another nice feature. Right here is our diesel fuel fill. And you only have fills on the driver's side for both your diesel and your DEF. But again, that goes down to a tank that's right behind the axle in the middle of the chassis rails. So it makes for better balance when you're traveling, where, you know, with a 150, some of them have 200-gallon tanks, two of them, they don't draw evenly necessary from both sides, and you can get a little bit off balance. Another really nice feature about the S2 RV chassis. And then back here, another compartment with our 50-amp power cord. Now, this is a manual out, and it's days like this that you really appreciate having the power retract. If this is laying outside, it's been in the snow for a few days or a week, it is rigid. It's hard to get rolled up. It's nice to be able to just hit a button and have it roll up on its own. We also have our transfer switch with a surge protector in there, a 110 outlet. I like the fact that Renegade gives you a nice dog bone here, an adapter from your 30 amp to your 50 amp. Got the power indicators. This isn't a cheap one. This is one of the good ones. So kudos to Renegade for that. As we move around back, again, that's the exhaust for our generator. This has got the 2-inch receiver that's rated at 12,000 pounds towing. Now, this chassis has a wheelbase of 279 inches, a gross vehicular weight of 33,000 pounds, and a tow capacity of 12,000 with 1,200 pounds of pin weight right here. And as I said, we've got a plug there, we've got a 7-way. We can also tie in a camera up underneath for our stacker trailer. Nice LED lights. I like the back cap and the fact that they do it in 2 pieces. You can see the seam right here. If you were to back into something and crunch this lower part, you can just replace that. Maybe the lights if you need to, but you don't have to replace the whole cap. So that's a nice little feature. I did one on a competitor's coach, a used one we had last week, and they have a 1-piece cap. And you can really see the benefit, especially if you're a clumsy driver. Okay, moving around to the passenger side. This is a very large open-ended storage compartment there, and nicely finished with the felt in there. Over here we've got a quick connect for our propane connection. That's one of the other things I kind of like about having propane. Maybe you've got a grill or a heater or something you want to tie into that. Very easy. You can sit out here under your awning and grill out, watch TV, where if it's an all-electric coach, you're not going to have that option. Got another very large storage compartment, and this one comes with the ottoman for the inside. And again, you've seen us with other models kind of having to slam those compartment doors, especially the bigger ones, but look how easy that closes. Another large compartment. Now, we do have an air hose there. You've got a compressor on board. They give you a place to plug into that actually on the other side. So maybe you've been towing your Jeep, you're over in Moab, you just did Poison Spider or something, let the air out of your tires for better traction. You get back, you want to drive into town, you can fill up those tires, blow up your beach toys, whatever you would use an air compressor for. These are actually called transit bars, and Renegade recommends that you travel with those in, but I find it kind of odd when we get them from the factory, they're not in. So I'm not going to say they're not necessary, but unless you're having a problem with your slide leaking out, most people don't use them. And here we have another one of our 32-inch TVs. Has a nice sound bar, and this actually pulls out and will tilt for you. This is our Truma AquaGo. It's a tankless water heater that runs on your propane. And again, if you're, out dirt biking with a group of friends, you get back to camp, 2, 3, probably 4 of you can take showers back to back. So long as you're not all taking 20-minute showers, you have plenty of water, and that keeps up without any problem. And again, another storage compartment. We've got our, that's 2800 watt inverter. See a little heat vent down there. So once again, this is the 2024 Valencia. It's a 38 RB floor plan on the S2RV chassis with a 360 Cummins. If you have questions on this one, and I can't reiterate enough, we're very motivated on all of our last year models. So if there's a 23, a 24 on the lot, we'll give you a great deal on it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can contact me at 970-631-0083 or send me an email at mlove@transwest.com. So keep warm, enjoy the winter. Happy trails, my friends. Drive careful out there, and we'll see you next week.